certain policies have been established for people to get in business. One of the policies that stood out to me was the fact that if you're a black person and you want to open a business or start a business, there was a business filing fee or an application fee of $100. How many black people had $100 back in 1865, right after they get out of slavery? Because remember this, the slave owners were given reparations for their slaves being set free, $300 a head. What did the slaves get themselves? Nothing. So to go out and say, I want to start a business, or, I want to do something with my life so I can support myself and my family, you started with nothing. You started at zero. Whereas ever since the 1600s, colonies have been sprouting up in the Americas. There have been homestead acts and land grabs, and I think over 10% of the land mass in America had been given away to white Americans. That was 10% of the land mass. That was a lot of land given away for free, or a filing fee. I did find out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that they had to pay a filing fee of $18 in order to have access to the acreage that they were offering, and I think it was 40 acres.
Wow.
But you had to have $18.
$18, which was
a lot.
A lot of money. Let's talk about today. I've heard communities are split by freeways, highways, and railroads. And if you go into a community today, the railroad splits the two communities, black and white. The term urban renewal, familiar with that? It came up often in my readings. It seemed to just keep coming as a way of destroying and draining support for black businesses of that time and even today. They no longer could readily support each other. So because of urban renewal, what are your thoughts about that?
Is that another word for gentrification?
You can say that.
Okay. I really don't have much of a thought other than the fact that areas flourish where money is going. So if you have the money to change an area or move into an area and buy buildings and buy closed businesses and revitalize that area and redo it, then have at it. However, I think a lot of people miss the fact that the advantages that certain communities have, again, we were not able to fully participate in the advantage until the 1940s, 50s, 60s. So we're trying to catch up from let's say, I'll give it to 1940 to now. We're trying to catch up to people financially who've been winning since 1492.
So as an entrepreneur, if you had to help the African American community, the black community, what would be the first step you would take?
The first step I would take.
With your expertise, now I know you can't save the world, but I'm just saying, with your expertise, to you, what's that one thing? I jokingly said when you're with your son, what's the one thing you said, oh, Mom, you talking about that again? Because that's what you truly believe in. What's that one thing that's in your thrall that you says, this is what I want to get out to the folks?
I remember after Jay-Z launched Tidal, he had a press conference and he said he was disappointed with his first quarter performance. I can understand it. He didn't get as much as he thought he would get as far as subscriptions. But he made a comment, he said, black people don't support black businesses. And here's something that I really want black people to understand, because it's not that we don't support black businesses, it's that we don't have as much free cash flow to support different businesses that blacks start. Tidal, I think a subscription is $9.99 a month. But when you're in a job and you're already making less than your white counterparts, your interest rates on your car insurance and credit cards are higher than your white counterparts. Your home mortgage interest rate is higher in your area than in maybe the whiter community. Then the dollars that you have, the small dollars that you have, don't stretch as far to be able to participate in amenities and those extra things that you would like to participate in, because all of your money is being allocated for bills and what's needed and what's necessary. Of course, you're going to expect more non-black population to have more money to spend on concerts and on subscriptions because they make more.
Right.
It's a fact. They pay less in interest. It's a fact. Their homes have better equity because of the way that certain areas have been redlined or districted. It's a fact. So I think we need to get away from saying that blacks don't support black businesses, because I think that is just false and misleading. We do. We will. We have. We supported businesses in Tulsa. We supported businesses on Parish Street. We supported businesses in Rosewood. We supported businesses in Wilmington. We've done that. And I think that we've lost a sense of responsibility to each other, because we feed also into the myth, the lies that, well, you're not going to get as good service if you do business with that black guy over there, that black woman over there. They're not as smart as these other folks. You're not going to get the same results as if you would with this other business. We need to get away from that thinking, because again, those were seeds planted in our heads so that when integration hit, we could stop patronizing the businesses that were so successful and take our money elsewhere. But nobody seems to figure out that 1 + 1 is 2. Did we not see this happening?
I don't believe so. So we go back, and we're going to close shortly, but if I have a teacher listening, they haven't tuned us out yet. So but if I have a teacher listening or students listening, you didn't give them a formula as far as you first have to do step 1, and then you have to do step 2, and that will lead to this, thus, and so. What I hear you saying is that you have to be aware of why things are the way they are, be aware of your history, and then your mindset has to change.
Absolutely.
Right, so that's what I get from the conversation that we've had.
Absolutely.
So I read that that's what you would tell them. That's what you've been probably pounding into your child's head, and I see that in you. So give us one. What are you trying to do? What are you doing now? Where are you trying to go with your career? I'm
still spreading the message of financial freedom, financial literacy, making sure that as many people that I know how important it is to try to gather assets. You need to have assets. You need to have ownership. You need to find a way to build a portfolio so that you're not working for the rest of your life, so that you can have something to leave to your children and to your grandchildren. That's important. Most of the wealth that's built in America is through inheritance of insurance policy money. They call it asset protection. Buy insurance. It makes sense. Beneficiaries receive it tax-free. So find ways to get started in participating in doing something for yourself and your family to get you to the next level. Because they say it's a fact that a family that starts lower class poverty, they can move out of middle class in the 2nd generation, but by the 3rd generation, the black family is still lower class. So there was really only a small period in time where they were able to experience what middle class living is like. We need to create opportunities for ourselves where we can stay and maintain that middle class lifestyle and hopefully move upward and not reverse.
I hope our audience is hearing this, and particularly I hope we have some students that are looking for, they're about to start out on their own, get started early. Don't be like myself and wait till whatever age, I ain't gonna mention that. But if someone wanted you to come and spread this knowledge or give this knowledge to them, is there some way they can connect with you? Tell us how.
I'll be launching the Talk Money podcast actually next month in June. And so we will have that available for listeners who are interested in personal money management, investing, and financial planning. You can also go to my website, calipearl.com. I have articles, calculators, everything on the site that can tell you about saving and investing and compounded interest, and that's Cali, C-A-L-I, Pearl, P-E-A-R-L.com. And I would say to the children, the youth listening,
and our teachers.
If you can, I think the children should have an opportunity to receive an allowance. And here's why an allowance. Calm down, kids. Here's why I think an allowance is important. When children get a consistent income stream, they're not so willing and so fast to spend it. And I think the earlier that they have an opportunity to handle money, once the excitement wears off and they realize, oh, okay, I got $5, let me go put it over here because I really don't need anything, I really don't want anything. I think that is a habit that children can develop early. It doesn't have to be $5 a week. When I started my son getting an allowance, I think it was about $4 or $5, it was $2 a week. And then, you know, when we would go to the store, and that's when you can get a child's attention, you point out how much things cost. You don't just walk by and throw stuff in the cart and, you know, mindless shopping. You just, hey, this cereal costs this much. This cereal costs this much. This is X amount ounces. And this one is, which one is the better deal?
Right.
You have to take the time to start talking about money, start talking about money things with your children. And engage in weight. And give them options to spend their own money. So if you give them an allowance and then opportunity comes up and they can start making decisions early. Do I want it bad enough where I want to spend my money on this? Or is it something I could do without? True story. My son was, I guess about 13 or 14, and he'd been saving his allowance money. And he'd been asking for some Air Jordans. And I never bought Air Jordans. I buy Nike, Adidas, whatever, Converse, Timberlands. But I'm like, I am not buying Air Jordans. Exactly. I just thought it was too much money. I said, but you know what? You're about to be 13. So take your birthday money and put it with whatever you save. And I'll take you to Foot Locker, Foot Action, one of them. And you can buy some Air Jordans. After he bought his first pair of Air Jordans at 13, he never asked for another pair.
Why?
Because he got to see how much money they cost, and it was out of his pocket. And he was able to calculate in his own mind, I had to get X amount of allowance money for X amount of weeks in order to save, and then I put it with this money I got for my birthday, and it still stretched me thin. Exactly. So children need to have those experiences with money at an early age.
I totally agree. Well, we've certainly enjoyed this conversation. I want to thank you, Sherri Brown, for sitting down with us. And you're certainly welcome to go on our website and retrieve this. It's on demand. We have it archived on our website. If listeners wanted to reach out to you, you've given them that.
Say to Arch TV, let's go.